Good evening. Welcome to the Roxy Files. Shannon is running behind tonight, guys. She had an appointment. She's running behind. She can't be in chat because her fingers are busy. But anyway, she may be here in a few minutes. So while we're waiting on everybody to get in the room before we get in the meat of the discussion, few things to cover today. I got a happy birthday that goes out to my friend in Alaska. Happy birthday. Hope you had a good day. Also, I have a musician I want to tell you about with a song. You can go check him out. Hang on, let me pull it up. He is part of our family of viewers, and he sent me an email. And I listened to some of his music, and then I had a conversation with him today. So, I should have already had this prepared, where I had his stuff pulled up. But I was in the process trying to get these children fed and washed and put away for the evening. We have stored all of our toys. I decided today I can't fuss at these children for not doing chores if I've never told them what they needed to do. So, that's where we're at with the grandchildren. Alright, this is the young man. Let's see. Let me check my audio, Tracy. Hang on. I may not have switched it back yet. Let's see. How about now, Tracy? Is that better? Tracy sending me a text message that audio didn't sound good. I don't know. I had to change mic cords because of the problem we had the other night. So, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if that made it better. Maybe that made it better. I got closer to it. Alright, let's see. Mike, give me a sound check on that. Is that better? Let me do this while we're... No, it's not any better. I don't know what's going on, Tracy. Yeah, it's got the right mic. Select this. I don't know. Doesn't surprise me. Of course, tonight would be the night we have an audio issue. I don't know what's going on with it. I changed mic cords today because the one I had the other day, if you touched it, the mic completely went out. No water running. I don't know. Might be having a mic issue. You might need to swap it out. Well, too late now. We have begun. This is the young man I'm telling you about. This is his YouTube channel. He's got some original music on here. His name is Ryan Christopher Boone, and he has a song named Firefly. Ryan, I don't know if you're in the crowd, but of course, let's see if I can find it. I should have been more prepared for this tonight, guys. There we go. Firefly. That's the one. It's up under his videos, which you can look at all of them. But this one right here, go listen to it. And that is a conversation that you have to have. Okay, there we go. Conversation with yourself, and you can. This can be about you and Jesus, but anyway, you have to find your own route on this song. But I like the song. I really like. Ryan is a good dude. I've talked to Ryan. Ryan and I have emailed. Um, possibly more work to come together in the future. We'll see. But that's Ryan's page. Well, I got a thumbs up from Shannon. She knows we've started, so she must still be busy with what she's doing. Yep, Daniel's in here. Wayne the Pain, Clayton, Big E, Mike. Mike, you the man. You always in here. I see you, Tracy. Let's see. Anybody else in the room? Not yet. Well, none of them are in the chat. If you're in the room and I didn't call your name, hello, good evening. Hello, governors. Okay, well, we had a birthday today. Happy birthday. I wanted y'all to know about Ryan. He's part of our viewer family in here. Hey, Super Dave. I was trying to give everybody time to get in the room before we got too started on all of this Pluribus stuff. What we're talking about tonight is a show that's on Apple TV. Yeah, Mike is the man, isn't he, Daniel? And Super Dave. This show on Apple TV, Shannon had me to start watching it. I wasn't but a couple of minutes in when I stopped and I started texting Shannon, and we started a joint note of taking notes because the stuff in this thing is crazy. So then we just went backwards. The main writer of it is from the X Files, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. So a lot of the things he said in the X File back then, we've now found out that they're true. So he wasn't off. Then you talk about Breaking Bad, you got a science teacher, the health insurance and health in general gave him cancer. And his way of dealing with the situation was he did what he had to do and he became a meth cook. And in Better Call Saul, it's just a silver tongued lawyer that talks his way out of everything, who used to be a criminal and then he just become an attorney. He's not too far off with any of his stuff, but Pluribus is very, very interesting. When the show first comes on, you see a bunch of scientists who have intercepted a signal from outer space. And we talked with Daniel the other day on the show, and 3i Atlas, they've actually said, has a quad signal, which is a four-part signal. So, upon a little further research, Shannon and I have gone back and watched this again and again and again. And we've got a few viewers who have sent in some stuff on it. They call it a 4-quad signal on a 78-second repeat. This thing actually ends up being a mind virus. Yeah, there's a lot of truth in the X Files, Mike. And this is all about this mind virus that causes everybody except for 13 people to be of one consciousness. There's no individuality. There's no having your own unique thought. Like everybody knows everything about everybody that's connected. And then this starts out from the signal that is coming that they've intercepted. Well, once they figure out that it's a 4-part signal, then they figure out that each one of these 4 parts is something. So I went back and let's see. I got a file set up for this. Some of the stuff I actually screenshotted from the show for anybody that hasn't watched it. Let's see. Let's see if it'll. We got to switch windows that we're sharing. Screen share window. Here we go. Sorry, I should never sing out loud. My bad. I apologize. Oh, no, not that one. This flash up there, and then there's an actual that tells you what the chemicals are in this 4-part thing. There's all kind of stuff here. I have not been down all the separate rabbit holes of what some of this stuff would say. Ryan, the young man whose song I showed you a while ago, brought it to mine and Shannon's attention that the phone number she calls in the show is an actual working phone number that you can call and get the same recording that she gets. But this 4-part virus is actually a real 4-part virus. Go figure. When I went and started looking up the chemicals in this 4-part virus, it showed me. Let's see. Oh, no, that is not the correct button. Roxy hit the wrong button. This is a 4-part virus. And this virus it's made as a virus carrier, is what it is. It's called a lysogenic virus. Let's see. Maybe that's the right window we're sharing now. Dun, 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 dun. You can do it, computer. Yep, there we go. Let's see. Nope, It still don't want to let me zoom in. There we go. The first thing it tells you in this 4-part is a chemical called guanine, Guanine. Then there's uracil, adenine, and cysteine. Well, all I had to do was look up the first one. And it took me over to the fact of telling me that these things right here, this sequence of putting them all together, is the carrier. And what it does, hey, Cash, what this does is they can load a virus onto this. This will kind of dig it in to your DNA. And it doesn't have a problem getting in there because this is kind of like the hidden carrier. If it was active, your body would fight it. But if you take it in on this carrier, when you take it in on this carrier, to the other one, what sets it off and actually makes it work is stress. It digs into the host cell's genome and lies dormant. Then what happens? Up under stress, it excises itself from the host DNA and enters into the Lytic cycle. This is what a lysogenic virus is. Well, they basically take this virus and they spread it all over the world, and everybody becomes of the same kind of mind. Well, I happened to another scene because you see them in a lab. This all comes about when a rat bites a scientist and then she starts spreading it, etc., etc. And it's hard to see on this screen. But there's a scene right before it all goes sideways that they're standing there and she looks up, and it's hard to see from this dark screen, but they're just oodles and oodles of white, straight paraline. Hey, Carol, parallel lines. And she makes a comment about it like, oh, doesn't that look odd? That looks weird. And then I realized that this virus carrier is a lot of times used for aerosol viruses that can be activated when your body under stress. Now, just to say that stress can be anything from the music you're listening to the emotions of people around you, or signals that could be being sent by other antenna type devices in your area. Um, every Okay, just for a thing on just like listening to YouTube music or Apple Music or Amazon Music, wherever you listen to music at, every song in their system has a number value, a color value, which is directly related to the emotional response it will induce when you listen to it, which is it a sad song? Is it a happy song? Is it, whatever. Take into account that they can look at the metrics of any given area in the country of what if you color coded that and you kind of condense it out, you zoom in or you zoom out on the map, you can see, let's just say that everybody in Chicago was listening to angry music. Well, it would tell you that there was some type of event in Chicago that was causing people to be angry. Do you understand what I'm saying? The emotional currency that they can shift just by pushing other music or television or whatever in your face. That's a part of this show because and we'll get into it later episodes, but it tells you at the beginning of this show, this woman, the main character, Carol, she's much like a Karen, just, all the time angry, miserable, nothing makes her happy. She happens to be one of the 13, and she's one of the only ones that wants to save the world to keep everybody with individual agency. And she finally figures out how to do it, I do believe. I've only seen one season. There's only one season yet. The other one's coming in February. But there are so many things in the show which are just right in your face. And because they are literally give you the recipe to a 4-part virus here, which can be used as a carrier to dig anything else in your system that can possibly be aerosolized, because they show you in this movie how they get this thing to spread. The nurse that gets bitten by the rat, because of course our brilliant military, decides that U.S. Center for Infectious Disease or whatever decides they're going to make it and try it. One of the rats bites a scientist. Well, all of a sudden she kind of goes through this seizure moment. Then she kisses somebody and he spread it, and then it was like it just spreads from there. Like one guy, they were literally standing in a line after a few of them have been turned, and they're swabbing their mouths with Q-tips, wiping it in a petri dish, packing them in a box, and sending them out all over the world. And so then the chemtrails go on, so it tells you that they aerosolized it. Everybody in the world except 13 people are up under this one mind spell. And it shows one scene in the movie where a mother had not been turned. She was one of the 13, but her 9-year-old son had. And Carol is trying to tell her, she's like, that's not your kid anymore. That's just a body walking around with a bunch of collective memories because it doesn't have any emotion. She's like, oh, yes, he is. He's my son. She said, well, did your son know how to do an obstetrician or gynecological pelvic exam at 9-year-olds? She says, no. So then Carol turns around and looks at the kid and starts asking him questions, and he answers them. They are supposedly sworn to be truthful, that they cannot lie. They cannot hurt an animal. They can't even pick an apple from the tree. If the apple falls from the tree naturally, they could pick it up and eat it, but they cannot incur any harm on plants, creatures, anything. Supposedly, that's what we've been told yet, and that they can't lie. So then Carol realizes that you lose any and all individuality with this mind virus that was sprayed by chemtrails on a 4-part carrier that looks a whole lot like the 4-part carrier for something else. Do you feel where I'm going with this, folks? What I'm telling you about is like the first maybe 22 minutes of the show. Hey, Diana. It is wild. And when I first started watching it, the things that you see in it, and it's like every time you go back and watch it and you slow down and you pay attention to things, it's like they're saying the quiet parts out loud, like really loud. But it's one of those things that you have to be awake to see, maybe to somebody else. A lot of people, and I've noticed that a lot of people that have said, oh, the show drags on and it's kind of slow running. And I'm not trying to promote the show. I'm just telling you what we found. You can watch it or you cannot because it's on a premium service. You got to pay for it. Only reason I'm watching it, I got a new Roku stick. It had 3 months free. If the new season ain't on it in them 3 months, we're going to have to set a reminder because I ain't paying for it. But it is a very unique show. And Shannon and I have gone all the way back to looking at who the writers are. What has the writer said about said show? And like there's a lot. It's a lot. I got notepads, y'all. Like I've even been back like one scene while ago. I know I've said something about unicorns about 100 times in the past month. There's a unicorn airbrushed on the hood of a truck in this show, which is just wild to me. But anyway, you never know what's going to happen in this world. Let's see. And I realized something today that we are told if, let's see. Oh, sorry, I got distracted reading a comment there. But if we've been, okay, there could be 8 billion bodies on this earth. But what if only about 700 million of them actually have a soul? and the others were NPCs, the non-player characters. Because all these people that are of this like mind in this movie, they seem like NPCs, like what we talk about, like there's no soul behind the eyes. These people, they have all these collective memories of all the other millions of people they're connected to, and they can give you any bit of information, but there's no emotion, there's no feeling, there's no soul, there's no connection. It's just like one big filing cabinet, and you can access that data from any human that you run into. There's no emotion, there's no love, there's no care, there's none of that. I'd say it was probably 3, 4 months ago. I started hearing some people talk about online about they were hearing, different things, Reddits, Discords, message boards. They started hearing a bunch of stuff about bees and beehives and wasn't quite sure what it was associated with. Then the next time I heard anything on it, they were telling me about the place in, or what I had seen they were talking about was Racine, Wisconsin, where the Johnson and Johnson, I think it is, factory is at, and how it looks a whole lot like that movie, which for some reason I can never spit the name out. Me and Shannon do this all the time. We talk about it with the Umbrella Corporation, which symbology looks a whole lot like the Knights, a particular Knights uniform. And I know there are signs and symbols and signals everywhere that we see in these colors and the the way they say things or spell things. But this pluribus, it's written on our money. And our money has become so funny lately. Because coincidentally, I saw a thing a while ago where Bank of America is trying to claim that they think silver is going to go to $300 an ounce, which is insane to me. That's going to cause all kind of things in the market. Tracy, we're gonna need to have a powwow on that, ma'am. That's blowing my mind. $300 an ounce silver prospects. But there's a whole nother as I've gone through some of the other episodes so far, and one of the things that I noticed was this woman Carol. She's a writer, and all of this collective consciousness knows her per se up until the point of the joining because her partner, which was a woman, um, got the virus and died shortly thereafter from a fall. But at that point, they had uploaded the collective consciousness of Carol's spouse. So they knew Carol through her spouse's eyes. So they're trying to cater to Carol to talk her into joining. They tell her that, she has free agency and they can't make her join, that she's unique and they would have to have a sample of her stem cells from bone marrow to adjust the virus to get it to take to her. If she would like to join, she could. But their whole goal is trying to get these 13 people to join. You see in later episodes, a couple of them do join, but there's a couple of them that will not. And like one dude, because they'll do when this woman Carol, if she needs something, she just picks up her phone and dials 0 and says, "Hey, I need, somebody to come get my trash." "Absolutely, Carol, we'll be right there." And in just a minute, somebody shows up and gets her trash. They do anything to please her, trying to keep her happy. Because one point she gets really, really mad and has like this meltdown. She ends up killing 11 million people. Her anger is more than the collective can take, and it kills a bunch of them. Well, Carol is a writer, and they're trying to talk Carol into writing another book. Well, she has a book written that she's not released. That book is called Bitter Chrysalis. So if I'm looking up what bitter chrysalis is goo. It is the goo stage between a caterpillar and a butterfly. Well, bitter normally means dark or does, bad tasting. So if you take bitter as dark, like dark chocolate, because it's bitterer than regular chocolate, then all of a sudden you've got bitter chrysalis as black goo, which is the stage between a caterpillar and a butterfly. And I know we've had the black goo conversation before. And when I realized that, it made me realize that mm, when I'm thinking about the show as a whole, Carol decides on the last episode, which we'll get into later, that she's going to save the world or blow it up. They'll give her anything she wants. She has literally asked these people for hand grenades and they bring them to her. They'll do anything she wants because they just want her to become one of them. Whatever the ultimate goal is, they can't do it until they get all of them connected. You own it, Tracy. Um, and when she gets really angry, she can kill them. And I don't want to give a whole lot of spoilers on other episodes because just about every episode there's something to learn. There is so much more in there that we're going to talk about as we go through this because it's like every episode, it's more of the, oh, they showed that. Oh, they said that out loud. Uh, no, dogs don't act the same around NPCs. If that's what we're going to call them now. If there, if there are actually 700 million people that are not NPCs. I read somebody's estimation earlier as far as the percentage that we feel like are awakened and are in the same spot that we are with seeing the truth and spirituality. It's only like 4%. 4.6% is what somebody estimated of the actual people that are awake on the world, in the whole world, which leads down to 34 million people that actually see what we see and understand what we understand. And I know that number grows and that's part of what our drive is, our goal is to wake somebody else up, to to make sure that positivity is multiplying in the world today and to keep each other awake and aware of what really is going on and not to get too distracted with some of the propaganda, I guess you'd say, of what's going on in the world to make sure you're staying center focused and not distracted. Because all of these black screens in front of us are to distract us. That is the majority of what this is. But you have to use this against them. We have to use it as much as possible. Let's see. Still haven't heard from Shannon. So I'm assuming she has got completely tied up with where she is, which is fine. We all got a life. We got things to do. It is perfectly fine. I was seeing what was going on in chat. I agree, Daniel. There's got something to do with that the inner standers. There's not a lot of us. There's a lot of things big E that are hard to articulate about the things that we see and understand now. I actually had a conversation, I think it was with Ryan. It was with Ryan or Tracy. Might have been both. I don't know. That we live in a three-dimensional world. We only perceive three dimensions of this world. Let me say that. I don't know how many dimensions there could be of this world because one of the things that I have figured out is that I'm pretty sure there are other things in other dimensions. We just don't see or perceive them because of our lack of ability. One of the reasons for that lack of ability is the air you breathe, the food you eat, and the water you drink. All of it is filled with fluoride and chemicals that stop you from seeing, feeling, connecting, and cutting you off. 4% is frightening. Seems like there's more, but that's probably because we surrounded ourselves by like minded. Absolutely. There's a small niche of us that are truly awake, and we are all starting to gather up. which is a very important thing. And I try to make sure that I say this when we're on the air because this is the beginning of the Roxy Files. I hope to be around for a long time. I don't care if I ever gain any more followers or not. As long as we're all together, I'm good with that. But if you know somebody, share a show. Mine or Daniel's or Shannon's or somebody else's like minded that's awake because we're trying to build just as much of a community and family as we go through this together as we do sources for information and truth. A lot of us, and I am included, have, and I say not necessarily lost family. It's not that they've gone anywhere, but the relationship you used to have with a lot of people doesn't seem to be there anymore. Um, and it becomes isolating and it becomes hard when you don't have people that you can have real honest conversation with because surface conversation is so unimportant anymore. It's hard to have conversations with people about like, "Oh, what are you doing for Valentine's?" or "What are you doing for Christmas?" Listen, I don't care. I gotta pay attention because these people is trying to take us out. I mean, like, you just can't I can't sit there and worry about what color outfit I would be wearing to a Christmas party when there's just bigger things in the world to worry about. I don't mean I'm not trying to become an introvert or away from the world, but I now realize when and like we're talking about NPCs, these people in this show, they're just numb. It's like they're walking through life and they're not seeing anything. And I'm not even sure that most of their emotional responses are real in some of these people, or if it's just a programmed response as to what they think they're supposed to do or how they think they're supposed to act. I keep hearing this thing about I've read it a few times, and you know how sometimes you read something, it just kind of sticks in your brain and it repeats. And I'm not sure if it was in the Bible or a book or I don't know. It might have been a TikTok post. I don't know. But it talks about one of the abilities to be able to get into heaven, wherever or whatever you feel that heaven may be. But it says that is with you need to have the curiosity of a child. So I thought about that for a while. And my brain automatically went to the innocent curiosity of a child. And so then when I took the innocence off of it, because a child can't guarantee their own innocence if an adult interrupts that innocence. But the curiosity, a child comes in knowing very little of of how to do anything. Doesn't matter whether it's ride a bike or roller skate or clean their room or anything like I'm going through with these grandbabies. You have to teach them. They don't know. But part of being a kid is the curiosity of climbing a tree, or like these two, taking a bucket out there to the pond and catching minnows, and they're putting them in glass jars and taking things and taking the pictures to identify what they are. That's the curiosity of a child. A child wants to know about things they don't know about yet, or if they feel like they don't know the truth, a child will go look. That is part of reaching heaven. Even as adults, we have to be curious. We have to be seekers. We have to be seeking the truth because we have been deceived so much left and right, black and white, up and down, everything that we have to continually seek the truth and to share that truth with others because we are so far behind on knowledge that there's no way that any one of us is going to know all of it. But if we work together as a family, we can share information and you may help lead somebody else into an epiphany. Let's see what you got there, Biggie. 72,000 strands of DNA from mother, father, triple helix, 144. Yes, sir. They're afraid to break free from the programming or even know to. Yeah, the programming is strong. Um, like I've noticed if you ask people who are not awake, if you ask, find a question that's very simple to answer. Um, Something that we know is not true, but you've been conditioned that that's what it is. Just that's my unicorn question. When I ask people to basically, just a couple of words. What do you think? Tell me what in your mind's eye you see a unicorn as. And everybody describes it. Oh, it looks like a horse. It's got one horn coming out of their head. Who said? Where'd you learn that from? Did you see a drawing? Who drew it? Did they see it? Did they witness it? Is it fictitious? This is the same thing with dinosaurs or dragons or pterodactyls or any animal or whatever that's not here now. If you didn't witness it with your own eyes and there's no picture of it, a verifiable picture, the image you see in your head is an image that somebody else presented to you and programmed you with. So even those of us that are awake and we know how much we've been programmed, there are still a lot of things we have to unprogram. We have to be very careful about how we see and perceive things because then you got to go like, oh, hang on, wait a minute. Where'd I get that from? Let's see. My immediate family of children and spouses of nine, only three of us are aware, and your negative blood. I have noticed that there are a lot of people with Rh negative blood that are awake. I don't know if that percentage is dominant or if it's just because I tend to look at some of that stuff, but I don't know. That is interesting. I've seen a lot of those. It would be nice if we could have a database of people that were awake, but then they'd hack our database and track our information. So there we go again. On another list. Lord knows we don't need to be on any more lists. We're on enough. Well, guys, I was hoping Shannon would pop in with us tonight. Um, I recommend this show is just something, even if you just want to watch it for fun, it is very enlightening. The episodes of the show kind of run at a slower progression. There's not a lot of action in it, but I found that I think the writer wrote the show at a slower pace so you would have time to see the Easter eggs and to digest them and to think about them. Um, Whatever the cash, I love you too, sweetie. You just trying to make my head swell. But watching this show is I've watched it twice, front to back, and I started on my third time today. Every time I've watched it, I've caught something different. Um, it's it is thought provoking and it gives you a lot of rabbit holes. Like there's rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole in here, and they all kind of connect. And what I thought was kind of strange was when all of a sudden I started watching this, which you guys know that I go to Ingersoll Lockwood and look at their site. The little rabbit at the bottom of the page was actually pointing me toward a document from Canada about the adenovirus. And basically, the adenovirus is what they're saying causes respiratory problems. And, if you was to take that and you mix it with this and aerosol it, then we all might have sore throats now. Hmm. Respiratory problems. Does that sound familiar, anybody? I know we got quite a few in the Logic crowd the other day that were saying something about scratchy throats and coughs and congestion. Make sure you're taking your ivermectin because the second document it linked to was how you can defeat the adenovirus with ivermectin. It was a Canadian document and it was from 2004. I know it was a compliment, Cash. Thank you. Um, I was just giving you a hard time, sweetie. So don't be slacking on your ivermectin. We are the only country in this world, and I say that Daniel's way, that does not have a parasite regimen for their citizens. We are the sickest country in the world. We buy more pharmaceuticals than any other country in the world. Our whole medical system is out of whack. The countries that have parasite treatments don't need as many hospitals and doctors and pharmaceutical companies and things of that nature because they just don't seem to be as sick for some reason. No, one and one equals two. That math be mathin'. So take it for what it's worth. There's two of them you should be taking. That's the ivermectin and the fenbendazole. There's a schedule on there, and about every viral type situation I can come across, seems to me that ivermectin, an anti-parasitic, fights it. So maybe that's trying to tell us that a virus is actually a parasitic infection, whether it be nanotechnology, microscopic, um, something being put in fireworks. I don't know about fireworks, Vicky. Hadn't really thought about that. Probably have to look into scientifically what the explosion or heat of the firework would do to any payload they loaded in there. They don't really need to do that. I mean, they're putting a grid over us every day with them nice long white parallel lines that they draw up there. And I've started this thing with the greenhouse where I want to grow some food and some flowers and some medicine. I might better not say that I'm going to do that out loud. I'll divvy up my information loop here. Um, Wayne, there's a schedule. If you're gonna take it, which now I took it twice last week too, but there's an actual way to take those. I'll have to post it on the community board or somewhere. With the ivermectin and the fenbendazole, you can. Hey, Aunt Kim, you take one and skip a day, and then you take the other. There are particular foods that you should be eating on particular days with it. Because, like, one day you need to eat really fatty food so that your body flushes everything. I'll get that schedule up there. It gives a real good explanation of how to take it. Yeah, there's some wild stuff in that fog, Big E. I've seen some tests on while we're on it and we're gossiping, did anybody see the videos about where the dude climbed out of the window at the hospital and said that he woke up and they was fixing to strip his organs? His medical record, and then he went out and they thought he was having a breakdown and he finally got him to pay attention, and the cops raided the hospital and found 4 more people in a basement. One of them laid out on a table about to have their organs harvested because they were, like, homeless or didn't have family or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy. I sent it to Shannon earlier. Um, there have been people in the past that have reported that type of thing. Of somebody trying to kidnap them or harvest their organs, and they were always played off as being crazy and blah, blah, blah. No, they raided this hospital. Like, there's videos of the SWAT team going in there, and they had like this cage environment in the basement, had surgical supplies down there. They were selling organs. hmm Organs. If you're an organ donor, I would suggest you go have your license changed. Yeah, because it's probably not going to science, it's going to profit, as we've known from everything else. Because we are just cattle, folks. Until we change the narrative of this, we are just cattle. We are, just because somebody tells you you're free, you might want to look around. Because yeah, mold is rough too. Um, there's a lot of mold out there, a lot of mold, spores, different kinds of mold. But just because you're told you're free, are you really free? Are you being taxed to death? Or were you just given more privileges in your prison? See, if you worked on a plantation back in the day, you were a prisoner that worked for room and board and food. You didn't get to leave. If you tried to leave, you were beat. There were there were colored slaves and there were Irish slaves in the north. It wasn't just a one color thing. It was indentured servants. There was all kind of situations. But right now, If I don't work and I don't kick a portion of it up, I can't eat. I can't live. This is not the way the world was supposed to be. When you go to other countries, like I think it's Italy, their streets are lined with fruit trees. Like you just walk down the street and pick an orange or an apple or a tomato or whatever. I mean, like other countries don't live like this. There's this guy I found, I think his name is Joe Fales, Felz. He's one of the ones that's got some old Bibles that he's scanning to try to make accessible. He moved to Costa Rica. Like him and his girlfriend, their whole physical health has changed. You can tell they look healthy, they look younger. They're living a different way of life. They eat the fruit off the trees around them. You can like walk over to the creek with a cup and get a cup of water and drink it. It's crystal clear. You can see to the bottom. We don't have a concept of how other people live. People say a lot of times that Americans are not well traveled. Well, the only reason people in some of the European countries are well traveled is because you can go from one country to another in an afternoon. I can't even get from here to Atlanta in the afternoon having to go through the airport. And it's a 45-minute flight. It's still going to take the whole afternoon. I can't hop in my car and ride to Atlanta without wasting a whole day in traffic and the day's gone and I'm not going to see any of it. They can jump in their car and go from one country to another. But we still have no idea how other countries live. Like what life is really like in Costa Rica or Cuba or Venezuela or Italy or Rome, anywhere. I have started a thing where I try to get on YouTube and find an individual creator who just like goes to places and films. There's a guy that I love. He goes up in the Smoky Mountains and he does old general stores, is how I got started on this. But and these people, like one the other day I was watching, they were actually in Venezuela. And, it was just him and his girlfriend. They went over there on a vacation. They were really showing you what the motels look like, what the beach looked like, what a market looked like. They talked to the locals. They asked questions. These are not things you're going to see on TikTok or the 6 o'clock news, which I know most people in this audience are not watching the 6 o'clock news or any real news for that matter. Be selective about what you watch and go figure out what the rest of the world lives like. I've noticed a lot of people who were refugees of Venezuela. These seem like intelligent people. These were not just hoodlums. These were intelligent people who were in favor of what has happened. I don't really have opinion on the Venezuela so far because I know there's a lot more going on and it goes all the way back to the little man with the mustache. Cash, I done told you, baby, it's cold in Michigan. I'm not a cold weather girl. I'm down here in flip flops and t shirts like 11 out of 12 months a year. My fingers get cold and I'm mad. Like, I'm just not a cold weather girl. I got to have on a hoodie and a jacket and a toboggan, everything. And when I have to put socks and shoes on, I'm not a happy person. I like barefoot and flip flops. Yeah, some of the Caribbean islands. Like I went down to Cozumel some years ago. Then I went to the Bahamas once. But when you go to those islands and you look at their water looks like Kool-Aid. Our water don't look like Kool-Aid. I don't know if any of y'all ever been to Dirty Myrtle, but that stuff looks like the stuff at a treatment plant. That do not look like no beach water. I live less than 30 miles from the ocean of Myrtle Beach. I am not driving down there to put my toes in sewage water. That's just what it looks like to me. And I'm not trying to downgrade our area or whatever. They do call it Murder Beach because it can be a dangerous area because the cartels have come in here and took over. But anyway, we won't go into the overpopulation of Horry County. 16 degrees there, Wayne, in northeast Nevada. See, no, no, no. That's right, Dave. Tell him. It was 70 right here in South Kakalaki today, weren't it? Dave would tell you, we got beautiful weather here, and we don't have to deal with but a certain percentage of the tropical problems. We do have some very large mosquitoes. They look like turkeys. Some of them do. Like you can visibly see them coming at you and dodge them like a bird. Uh, yeah, we like barefoot and warm weather out here. Yeah, it does keep you grounded. And love changes everything. Love does change everything. A smile can change a person's day. A kind word, a phrase, a note, a random post-it note. I'm I suggest taking a post-it notepad, write positive things on it, keep it in your pocket, walk by and hand notes out to strangers. Don't say anything on there that could be reinterpreted wrong because some people are sensitive. Have a great day. Hope something wonderful happens for you today. You know, like whatever. Pass it on. Hold a door. Tell somebody to look nice. Or if you're a woman and you see a woman, tell her you like her shoes or her outfit looks good. Something, anything. Be nice. Be kind. Be compassionate. Because I can guarantee you, if there is nothing else in this world, Shannon is here, that multiplies, it is love. If you give it, it will multiply. So will kindness. Hello.
Hello. Oh my gosh, I'm finally on. Sorry about that.
I told everybody you had appointments and you were running behind. We've been
Yes,
through quite a bit of the Pluribus stuff, and as usual, I had got sidetracked running my mouth.
that's okay. Yes, unfortunately, my appointment ran behind and wasn't my fault this time, so there's that. But so, what
That's
all
okay.
did you cover?
Well, we covered the fact that the four-part virus is an actual virus which can be combined in a lab with other things as a carrier and induce stress. I know you can't see the screen, so the whole crowd is telling you. I'll tell you who's here. We got Mike, Super Dave, Wayne the Pain, Daniel's here, and Kim is here. Tracy's here. Big E, Cash is here. Hope I didn't miss
Well,
anybody. Diana, Carol. Yeah, we got a good crowd here tonight. Then we got Anise or Ann's. I can't read. But we got a good crowd here tonight. But we have talked about the virus and the chemtrails. And tell me what struck you the most about episode 1, Shannon.
so interestingly enough, you know how you mentioned you wanted to watch each one individually. I ended up doing that originally. So yesterday I binge watched it all and did the opposite of what you did. And in the very first episode, what I found interesting, because you know, it's a you say it's like it's a virus, but the not the president guy, but the agriculture guy, you know, who speaks for everyone in the beginning,
Yeah.
he says it's a virus, but not exactly. So it's not, but it is. And I've been really kind of trying to think in my mind what that what that entails, and if we have anything similar that we can kind of, you know, compare and contrast to. That's something that is, it acts like a virus, but it technically isn't.
When,
Because that's what I got from that, and that kind of got me thinking on that part.
well, I went back down the rabbit hole, and the four components that they tell you about that make up this signal is an actual carrier virus that embeds into your DNA and can be carrying whatever on its back undetected by your body. Once it digs in, it can be activated by putting the body in stress, is how it
That's
activates.
interesting because they all end up like convulsing and having like epileptic episodes when they join in the beginning.
Uh huh. They do this like, if anybody hasn't seen it, um, they do this. It literally looks like they're having a severe epileptic seizure for a few minutes, and then they're joined. Because in the beginning, you see it not as everybody on Earth joined at once. As it was beginning to spread, it would be just like groups of people, and they all
Right.
would shake, and then they just kind of paused, and then all of a sudden they all just reanimated. And I don't know, it's wild. You have to watch it.
Something else I noticed, right? Because in the like the trailers and posters and all that stuff for this show, there's the smiley face in the culture dish, in the petri dish, right?
Hmm.
Well, when they're all originally starting to, pass on this thing or whatever, and they go in sequence and do the whole, swabbing of the mouth thing and then putting it on the petri dish,
Uh-huh.
they're actually making a smiley face, but instead of a full smiley face, they're doing like a swirl, like making it a 6 at the end.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know if you noticed that or not, because I found that to be kind of interesting, like pointing to the 666 kind of the stuff, like in the CERN logo and
Well,
all these other kinds of things.
it comes later on in another episode, Shannon. The dude that's in South America that makes his way to her, the actual,
Right.
I want to go back and look, the actual frequency number that he found that signal on, because he opens his book in like circles at a time or two or something.
Right. Isn't it like 16667 or something like that?
Yep.
It's like 1666.7. I
I
was
think
like,
so.
what the
Mm-hmm.
toast? Yep, yep, yep.
Yep. I saw that too. But we talked about the virus.
Has anyone has anyone in the audience seen it?
I
Have they made any observations?
I don't know. Has anyone out there actually seen it, guys, or any of you watching along with us? I know Ryan's watching along with us. I shared Ryan's song Firefly at the beginning for everybody to go listen to.
Yay! Isn't it awesome, you guys?
It is. I like that song. Ryan's pretty cool. He's part of our family and maybe coming on board to do more with us. Um, our friend in Alaska, it's his birthday today. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Oh my gosh! Happy birthday! Are we? Can we sing happy birthday?
No, I'm not even sure that he's with us tonight. No, we're not singing tonight. I don't even know if he's
Oh,
with us. Um, I haven't heard from him in a while today. Uh, yeah, no subscriptions or no anything here. Big E said I've not seen it yet. Like I said, if it hadn't been for the fact I probably had Apple TV free for 3 months, I probably wouldn't have went and watched it. I wouldn't have went and done it. But Diana, ain't nobody worried about no typos, honey. We getting older. We lucky we can even see the keyboard anymore at this point. I can't never find my
shoot! I
glasses.
talk. Yeah, I talk text half the time, so most of the stuff doesn't even come out right.
Looks like I'm speaking a different language when it actually types it out.
Right?
I actually had an argument this morning because I had to sing it and I was thinking faster than I could type it. So I reached over and made an audio recording when I was making a note. And yeah, we do need music. Ryan's in for that, Daniel, by the way. I'll send you some of his music, Daniel. He's good.
I would like it if we could collaborate. That would be great.
He actually made a mention of that today as well, Shannon.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I would really, really like that.
We'll get there. We're all in the middle of all of these conversations of joining each other, and I was talking about that with everybody.
Joining?
Huh?
Well, interesting choice of words. Joining.
Joining.
Sorry.
We are the resistance, folks. We are the resistance.
Something I'd like to point out to with that first episode that you're gonna find later on, but she's an author. The main character is an author who writes these really silly romance novels, that she's not exactly thrilled that she's writing these things necessarily, and has another book that she had been working on that's more serious. But if you notice in the beginning when she's reading that segment from her book to everybody at the book signing, she's giving, there's like some foreshadowing in that part in that story. And you find throughout the series that more and more foreshadowing happens through some storylines that they mention that she's written in and stuff. And I kind of wanted to put that out there to notice throughout the rest of the episodes as we discuss it.
Yeah, would you like to know? I told everybody a while ago the book that she's writing in the series is called Bitter Chrysalis. Well, Shannon, chrysalis is the stage of goo between a caterpillar and the butterfly.
Are you
When,
there?
yeah, can you hear me?
Hello? What
Well, we must have
happened?
lost Shannon. There we went. Shannon. Well, she didn't hear that, guys. Yeah, we are the resistance. The but now she's breathing hard.
Can you
She
hear me?
can you hear me now, George?
I can't hear you.
No bueno. She's not hearing us. We can hear her though. She just doesn't know it. So maybe she doesn't say anything out loud that she shouldn't. And see, there she went. She hung up. Yeah, we are the resistance. We are the body of Christ, and we have to make sure that we share this message, whether it's sharing a show of somebody that has a message that you like. Um, yeah, Shannon's in the car. She's trying to get back. She's driving from LA back home, which is in and of itself probably a task, I'm sure. She's back again. Let's see if she can hear us now.
Can you
Hello,
hear me?
Governor.
I was like, sorry, I do not have do not disturb on. Yeah,
Ah, messed you up.
yeah. Not on my normal equipment today. It's.
Yeah, I told him you were Daniel told him you were in the car, and I told him you were driving from LA home, and that in of itself should be an experience.
Yep. This would be the second time I've done it. So it's
See,
hey,
you're out there, you
multitask.
you and Tracy and Ryan, y'all out there on the West Coast. Then we got a couple of them here. We got Cash and Wayne. They're up there where it's like 15, 16 degrees. Y'all
Oh,
all good. I'll stay right here in flip flop weather in the south, hidden up in the woods by myself.
yeah, I went to LA today, but I didn't really explore much of it. I just kind of stayed in my one little spot. So, nothing very exciting to report today, but the freeway is just as jammed as always, so I got plenty of time while I'm driving home.
Oh,
Good time.
and I want and oh, my phone's going off. Oh, sorry, y'all. I got a bunch of messages over there I ain't looked at. My bad. I'm usually he's listening. Friend in the North is listening.
Yay, happy birthday!
He's listening.
I
Um,
still gonna
I've
sing
got
happy birthday, but
go
whatever.
ahead, Shannon. Sing happy birthday. Do it, girl. Do it.
Okay, okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chris. Happy birthday to you.
Bravo. Bravo.
Singing in the
That was
car.
amazing. Singing in the car. See? And this is another thing we were talking about a while ago. I was talking about spreading positivity and love and light and wonderful things with each other. But don't forget to spread that with yourself, folks. Be
That's
good
right.
to yourself. When you are grateful for all of your blessings, that gratefulness and the gratitude and feeling and knowing that you got those blessings makes you feel good. And the better you feel, the better the world around you becomes. And sometimes, even if it's in that 10 minutes that you're alone by yourself in the car, in the bathroom, in the morning when you're getting ready for work, wherever you're completely uninhibited, you're getting all kind of hearts and roses and accolades over here. Beautiful, Shannon, they say.
Thanks, guys.
Um, is that he Chris says he got him over there crying. He loves us. Anyway, um, yeah, be kind to your own mind with gratitude. Absolutely, Diana. That is a fantastic way to say it. Be good to yourself. All of the
Right.
love that you're giving out in the world, make sure you're giving yourself that love too. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am beautiful. I am kind. I am compassionate. I am blessed. I am loved. And the more you say that to yourself, the better your life will come. Stand in the morning with the radio blasting on your favorite song while you singing to your toothbrush like you did when you were 12. Th- that happiness and that joy, when you actually experience that, your physical body experiences. The more happiness you pump into your body, the healthier your body will be. Your body works off of vibration. Vibration is measured by emotion and feeling. So if you feel good about things, your body will feel good about things. If you haven't been the healthiest lately, when you get up in the morning, tell yourself, I am healthy. I am blessed. The good Lord woke me up today. I am here. I got things to do. I'm going to accomplish things. If I don't do anything but tell somebody else how wonderful they are or how much I love them today, I will be accomplished something.
You
But
know,
to find that inner happiness, you got to give it out and give it to yourself.
a really good way to look at it is, we've all been programmed for self-deprecation, for self-destruction. We've all had that programming shoved down our throats since we were little. But as Daniel always likes to remind us, we are the representation of God's temple here on this earth. And if you view yourself as a vessel for God, then giving yourself love is secondhand nature because you love God so much. Well, God dwelleth within you, within your temple. So remember that. And even though it's hard and it seems like it's against every bit of your being sometimes to give yourself that love and kindness, know that it is you are indwelling with the Lord in this temple if you have accepted him in, and that in itself will help to remind you to give yourself love.
Yes, joy is our natural state, was what Chris just texted. I know you're riding down the road and you can't read it. Find joy. Even if it's just sitting on your porch looking at the birds or the butterflies or the bees or the ants crawl around or your grandchildren play. Find joy. Pure, unadulterated, uninhibited, didn't have to pay for it. Just joy. Getting enough oxygen to breathe for 10 more minutes should be joy. Just find it, share it, spread it. That's the whole purpose of why we've been awakened, is to spread truth and love and light, kindness, compassion, empathy, to love our fellow man. I was
Amen.
trying to look if there were any more text messages. Text messages, chat messages. Everybody said your voice was beautiful. You did a good job.
Thanks, guys. That was just singing happy birthday to our friend. That's the best part.
All right. Well, Shannon and I are trying a new thing now. These are called Buy Me a Coffee. You can actually, and there'll be links in the descriptions later, but it was like right before showtime when I actually got these uploaded. And these are called Buy Me a Coffee. You can buy us a coffee. Very simple. $1, $2, $5, whatever you want to do. If you feel like supporting, completely up to you. That's my link there. And this is Shannon's link here, and they'll be in the description of the videos. But that's all we're going to mention about that. If you'd like to buy us a coffee, there's the link. But if you would, guys, if you have not already, which most of you have because you are our regulars, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to continue to go through these episodes and have general conversation about them and life and the truth and how we can love each other a little better. And the more we love each other, the better this world seems to be getting. Shannon is literally a worldly angel. We know Shannon's an angel, but you can't have her because that's my bestie.
Who said that? And thank you.
That's Daniel.
It's all glory to the Most High. Okay, all glory.
That's my bestie. I will dust a kneecap up over my bestie. I will stab you. It's amazing to me, guys. I didn't even know Shannon a year ago. And like I literally now I'm like a teenager because I'm looking at my phone at like 12 o'clock, like, can I text her yet? Can I text her yet? She's several hours in front of me.
You can still text me anytime, whether I'm awake.
If I start texting you at 4 a.m., your husband's gonna wonder who's texting you all night in the middle of the night.
Like, I think he knows now. Like, at first he was like, "Why are you getting all these messages in the morning?" And I was like, "It's the group text with the show." Oh, okay. As I'm reading them off.
Now it's just me because like I'm watching the clock in the morning. I'm like, okay, like 8 a.m. Shannon time is my safe period. It's like bam, 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 bam. I've been sitting there for 3 hours waiting on you to get up. The stuff piles up, man.
I feel the same way at night when it's like midnight over here, and I'm like, I want to text you 50 things, and it's probably 3 in the morning, and
just send them on because I can promise you, once I go to sleep, I'm asleep.
Okay,
Willie will tell you, tornado comes through, Roxy's still asleep.
This is our way of giving each other permission to message or call anytime, and we have witnesses, so therefore...
Day or night.
Day or night.
Spouses, just deal with it. We're not even worried about your opinions because it's just deal with it. Yeah, it's just love and truth. Okay, guys. Well, Shannon is driving home. We have been here a little over an hour. We hope we made you curious. We will continue to cover this show and other wonderful, wonderful conversation. Let's see. Yeah. Tracy, you are a woman that never seems to stop. I just want to borrow some of your energy. Because, girl, you got way more than I do sometimes. 5:45 in the morning. I be struggling at 6:30 to get these cheering on the bus.
Right.
Like,
and Tracy, just so you know, in the beginning of summer, I'm going to be going up north. So maybe we can have some kind of a way to meet up for lunch or something. Just keep that in mind. Got till summer.
All right, guys. Well, and Ryan, I think maybe closer to you than you realize. But we'll put it all together.
One of these days we'll all have to hang out.
Yeah, the team is growing, guys, and it's growing exponentially and it's growing fast. Like we're continually getting new people that want to come on board and help and do things. Hang on, someone needs to post a coffee link. A coffee link, a coffee link. Hang on, let me see if I can do it, guys. I think I can. I'm new at this. Like, and it's late in the evening, and there are like 2 children up there, and I can hear them. They sound like they're actually wrestling upstairs in my house. But I'm like, when you break it, you can't buy it. So I'm gonna have to take it out and trade. Your bicycle's mine. Just saying.
I kind of
Oh
need to
no, girl.
see a video of you riding it now. Like, that's the thing.
I'm not riding a bicycle. I said I was gonna take it and lock it up. I didn't say anything about I was gonna use it. I mean, I'm not
Where's the
stroke.
fun in that? Where's the fun in that? Come on. You could see my crippled
Mm-mm.
butt
No,
getting right
years
up on
ago I
there.
got
I
on
was
this
all
thing.
in there.
I don't know. I don't be on no bicycle without injury. Like, and I know this is horrible, guys, but my grandbaby earlier, he's got a new bicycle, and he was out there riding it down the driveway, and all of a sudden I seen this like death wobble thing happen. And it's still funny when I think about it
Oh
in my
no.
mind. It like wobbled like really, really fast and almost threw him over the handlebars. And I see both of his feet go down, and his Crocs caught traction on the asphalt in the driveway. And he just throws the bike down and he goes over there and he sits on the side and he just drops his head. He sits there for like 10 minutes. I only caught the end part of the wobble. When I finally got him to talk to me, I said, "Buddy, what's wrong?" He said, "That new bicycle, the brakes are touchy, Nanny." He said, and I bumped the brakes and it like to threw me over the handlebars." He's done. He come in, he parked the bike. He's done. So he's gonna have to work his courage back up. I guess I'm gonna have to go out there and pull tool set out and adjust the brakes. But oh, I so wish I'd have had a video camera on the front of that house when that death wobble happened. Because it looked like something out of a movie. It was like, and he bailed off.
Ah. He's like, no. I'm like, it's okay. Get back up on the bike. I promise. This is a great
Yeah.
analogy of life. you know, it's a
Well,
great
it
analogy.
yeah, you gotta get back on the bike once in a while. The death wobble's gonna scare the bejesus out of you, but just get back up and try it. It's one of those things you'll
Hmm.
never forget how to do. You might be nervous about doing it, but once the nervousness wears off, like riding a bike, it always comes back. All right,
That's
guys. Well, we're
right.
sorry you didn't have more Giggle Factory tonight, but we promise Giggle Factory will be more in tune Thursday night for our late night show. It will be Thursday night, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific time. Daniel, I think, has a show tomorrow on Logic Before Authority. Shannon and I'll be back together on Thursday. And then Friday, I think the whole gang will be together for a fun Friday on the Supernatural show.
Hey
Anything
guys,
else
and
before
don't
we close
forget,
up tonight?
yeah, don't forget to email me, guys. Whoever won the prizes for our giveaway last month. Because if not, they're just going to be hanging out in my house. so,
Yeah, that was
I'd like to get them
Sarah
to you.
Wyckoff. I think it was Sandy Brady, Sand Brady. I can't remember.
Sand
And God,
Brady.
yeah, Sand Brady and God is my banner. We need a
Yep.
email or some kind of contact so we can mail your books out. But there's a message board over on my community board about the show if anybody's watching and you got any comments or something that we didn't see that we need to go back and look at. We will be glad to do that so we can have a conversation about it because we love talking with you guys. We love you guys being a part of it. But we hope everybody has a wonderful evening. And Daniel, see you tomorrow. And we will see you Thursday night. Hit that subscribe button, share it with a friend,